Everyone, this is Edward. I'm going to show you how to make this part. We had a customer in the forum today ask how you would go about making this. This is the picture that he posted, and then he gave us a PDF with some dimensions here. And we're not going to do all this, all the fancy stuff on the perimeter. I'm just going to show you how to do this hole pattern and a center hole. And I'm going to make it look like this one. So it should be pretty easy. So let's get started. It looks like the outside dimensions are 95 by 85.22 millimeter. So I'm going to start by making a square that big. So 95 by 85.22, and I'm going to give this a 5 millimeter radius. All right, there we have our outside perimeter. And it looks like our hole spacing is 80 by 70. So I'm going to show you a neat trick here. I'm going to draw a rectangle that is 80 millimeter wide by 70 millimeters tall. And I'm going to align it to the first shape that we made. So I'm just going to select both of them, click Alignment Tool, and then Align Centers. Now, this square that I made, we're actually going to delete when we're done with it. We are using the corners of this square as our reference points to put the circles where they need to go. So we know it's 80 millimeter across and 70 millimeter up and down. So let's make a circle here. And it looks like these are 6 millimeter diameter holes, which means that the radius for this is going to be 3. And now I'm just going to grab it and snap it to the corner and then duplicate it. I'm on a Mac, so I'm pressing Command C, but if you're on Windows, you can do Control C. That'll duplicate it. Okay, so now we have our hole spacing, and we can delete this. We were only using it for reference, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And then I'm going to make another rectangle, and I'm actually going to make it the same size as the one we just deleted. You'll see why here in a second. So 80 by 70, but I'm going to give this one a 5 millimeter radius, and I'm going to select the flipped fillet and click Apply. So that, there we go. I use the snap point here. I grab the center of this to snap it to the center of that. But what you could do is you could group all of these together so our holes don't move, and click the group button. So now these are grouped, and we can drag them around without worrying about losing our dimensions. Then I can highlight both of these, and I can do Align Centers again. So now I know everything's perfectly centered. So now that we have the shape drawn, we should make the tool paths. I'm going to move this a little closer to the edge. Maybe right there. And now we're going to go into toolpath mode. So I'm going to select everything and then deselect the outside profile. And I'm going to click Contour, and I've got a 1/8 inch cutter selected here. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm going to use stock bottom. I had set the material to 1/4 inch thickness, and I'm going to choose inside left profile. So that's going to keep the cutter inside of all of these shapes, which will maintain our dimensions. I'm going to rename this Inside Cuts, and then I'm going to select just the outside. I'm going to do another contour, same tool, use stock bottom, but this time I'm going to go outside. So that'll keep our cutter on the outside of the profile. And I'm also going to add some tabs to hold this in. So 4 tabs should do it. Say These look pretty good. Rename this one outside cut. Now we can simulate this. Show simulation. And that looks like the part we're after.